Thank you for tuning in to Hacks and Hobbies with your host, Junaid. In Season 2 of Hacks and Hobbies, we're visited by our amazing guests coming from all walks of life who want to learn their story, their struggles, and their journey on how they got to where they are today. So stick around. In this episode, we get to talk with my good friend Melissa. I met her a few years ago when I was driving for Lyft, and she had such an awesome personality that we've stayed connected over the years. And recently, she shared a story about something that I was super amazed and proud of. It's an amazing story, and I have Melissa here to tell us all about it. So Melissa, thank you so much for your time and coming on to the podcast.
Well, you're welcome.
Awesome. So how is everything? Tell us your journey and your story and how you got here. So the story that I was focusing on or talking about earlier, it's a post that was mentioned on Women's Health magazine. It was told by Ariel, and this article was posted back on February 24, 2019, and it shows how Melissa lost 167 pounds using MyFitnessPal and hiking every day. So Melissa, tell us a little bit about how that happened and what's going on. I mean, I don't know how else.
Okay. No, that's okay. I get these questions a lot. One of the biggest questions people ask me right away is what made me decide to even start my journey. And as a parent, and you're a parent, Junaid, so you'll understand, my oldest is in the Navy, and she was graduating from National Defense Language Institute. And they flew out to go visit her and to watch her graduate with highest honors because it's a huge, military thing or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I flew out, and when I got off the plane, I was really sick. I was almost 400 pounds, but my blood pressure was through the roof. My ankles and my legs swelled. I could barely even attend her graduation. I was completely embarrassed by the shape of my body. She recalibrated our visit to make sure that I could enjoy whatever she was doing, and I felt really bad at that time. I was like, wow, she's really redoing all of her schedule just to accommodate me and my size. Well, then she came home, and I knew it was the last time I was going to have my 3 kids together. And so we went to the amusement park, and we're standing in line for this amusement ride. And the kids are really excited. They're razzing me, saying, Mom, you're going to throw up. It's so horrible. And it was in this long ride. We were in this line for like 45 minutes, and I'm standing in it. And I'm thinking, as I'm sure all parents do, have I done enough for my kids? What have I done and what have I not done? And I sat there and I rethought everything, and I was like, I've done art, I've taught them how to cook, they can play instruments, they write music. But when it came to physical stuff, the only thing I ever did with them was take them to the pool, and then I would lay out and they would swim. So I started to think about it, and I'm like, I really haven't done anything to encourage them to do physical activities. And I started to feel ashamed of some of my parenting. Then we get to the very front of the line, and the kids are excited, and there's this harness you have to fit into in order to get on the ride. And I sit down, and I looked at the harness, and I for certain thought that I could fit into it, or I would have never stood in the line and let my children down. I went to get in it, and I couldn't fit. And I watched the joy dissipate from my kids' face, and this immense amount of shame just weighed so heavy on me. And then I saw my children go, Mom, let's go. It's okay. This place is stupid. And I realized that I was really affecting my children's lives negatively, and how many other people, my family, my friends, how many other times have people had to redo their life in order to have me be able to be a part of it? And I realized right then and there I didn't want to do that anymore, and that's not what I came into the world to be, and it's not something I want my children to be, and I always want to be a positive force in every person's life. So I decided that day I was no longer going to do that. So the next day, I decided I wanted to take a hike. And I went to go just do a mile. I thought I can do a mile. A mile is nothing. Everybody walks a mile.
Mm-hmm.
I barely made it through the mile. My hands were swollen and tingling. I thought I was going to die halfway through, and that nobody was going to find me on this mountain. It was a really scary thing that I actually started to realize that my weight not only affected other people, but it clearly was affecting me too. And that I'd been lying to myself for years. So then I didn't go back the following day. every other day a mile. And then I went every other day 2 miles. And then I went every other day 3 miles. And then I started going every day. And I slowly just started building up to basically ending with 5 to 7 miles a day and 15 on Sundays.
Wow.
Once I started losing weight, hiking, I really got excited about the fact that I was getting smaller. And I started to using the Fitness Pal. And it's a self-teaching app. It's one of the apps that I advocate all the time when I life coach to people now. That I'm not going to tell you how to eat. I'm not going to tell you what not to eat. All I really want you to do is to open up this app and be honest with the app. Nobody has to see it but you.
Yeah.
But you have to be honest about everything in your body. Well, the thing is when you're honest about everything you put in there, it starts to show you how bad your choices are. And if you're really goal-oriented and you're really wanting to meet your goal, you start to slowly but surely make little changes here or there. Things that you don't mind changing in your lifestyle. And the next thing you know, it becomes part of your lifestyle. And here I am 3 years later. Took me about 18 months to lose the weight. I'm in a CrossFit gym. I'm doing the sports side of CrossFit. So I'm like, my back squat's at 165.
Wow.
I'm doing physical fitness things that I've never thought in a million years I'd be able to do. I just got invited by my gym to do a sport, to do the Spartan team. I'm not overweight anymore, and I'm seeing how much of life I've really missed. And I can say right now, a lot of people who are obese are probably thinking, oh, this is such crap. And I'm right there with you. When I was overweight, it was crap. I literally lied to myself all the time that I was happy and that I wasn't bothering anybody. But the only reason I was happy is because I didn't know what I was missing. And maybe that's okay for some people, but I climbed a 14er and I stood on the top of that 14er and I cried. And I cried because I realized there's so much in this world that we can experience and we can live and we can share. But we limit ourselves every day by the lies we tell ourselves.
Absolutely.
And every day I've been telling myself, I'm okay, I'm not affecting people, but I am. And so now I just affect people as positively as I can every day. And I make sure that I start every day by leading by example. I started bringing my daughter. She goes to CrossFit with me 6 days a week. She's on a health fitness goal. She gets upset if she can't work out. She gets upset if she eats too junkily. I'm teaching my child the right kind of lifestyle. And maybe to some people, they're like, that's just not fair. A kid should be a kid. They should be able to have a Twinkie. That's a great, way to think about things. Kids should be a kid. But my daughter's 15, and she has to have a healthy lifestyle if she wants to be a healthy adult, if she wants to come into the world and live. And I want her to experience so much more than what I ever experienced.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is to live and not sit on the couch and not enjoy that bowl of ice cream at 10 o'clock at night because it tastes better than life. Because it doesn't taste better than life. It really doesn't.
Wow.
And that's pretty much my story. I mean,
that's an amazing story, and the way you turn around, because it truly does affect people, right? Like you mentioned, like you didn't know, and you were
you don't know, Junaid.
Yes.
Even people who are healthy are doing something bad. Whether you're smoking or you're drinking or every choice we make, we lead by example to all of our family, our friends, our children. People are watching, and some people are inspired by you, and the choices you make are the ones that they're going to make.
Yeah.
And so why not always lead with a positive print?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's super cool. So what are some of the things that people can do that are facing some of these, like, for example, I'm tired all the time, I'm not getting enough sleep, or am I eating at the wrong times? Like, what are some of the things that we can start doing? And you mentioned that you started just going on a 1 mile hike and just building
making a promise to yourself. The first thing I tell people before you start any journey, make a promise to yourself that you matter enough to finish the journey. That it's not the journey that matters, but that you matter. And that's why you're taking the journey. So many people take the journey because they want to have something to say or something to prove. But really all it is you have to understand that you matter. And then once you decide that you matter enough, start looking at what you could change first. Don't change everything at once. That's way too difficult, and you'll give up too easily. Just do one thing at a time. Take 1 month, and if it's your sleep you want to work on first, take 1 month and start Googling, because I'm not going to tell everybody how to do things, because all of our bodies are different. And what may work for me might not work for you. But what I did, instead of going on a whole bunch of crazy fad diets, is I started researching on the internet all these things, all these little articles, and I would try things that I thought I could implement in my life. And if it worked, I kept it. If it didn't, I went on to the next one. If I was discouraged, I always told myself, I'm important and tomorrow matters too. And I got back up and I tried a different thing the next day. The biggest important part is not giving up and always telling yourself that you matter enough to continue. And then just do as much research as you can. If it's sleep, then look at what people are doing to solve their sleep. Start Googling. I mean, I'm not a guru by any means, but I know that if I'm open to information, information will come to me.
Yes.
I Googled, I talked to people, I made as many resources at my fingertips as possible to make sure that my journey was always going to continue the following day. If it's weight loss, I always tell people, just download the Fitness Pal app. For the first 30 days, put everything you do in there, every bite you take, every move you make, everything in that app. And that app is going to tell you what your choices are doing to you. And when you press complete diary for the day, it's going to tell you whether you're going to gain or you're going to lose. And that's something you have to face at the end of each day. And it's hard to face it, but you matter enough to change some things to make it to where the end of the day, when you're completing that diary, those numbers change. Those numbers change every single day with every choice we make. We are always one choice away from change. One decision away from change. That's all it really is.
Yeah. No.
Maybe today you want to change because you're a parent and you don't want your kids to see what your life is like. That's a great reason, but it can't be your reason because you have to be important to yourself. I, through 20 years of being 400 pounds, tried numerous diets. And my reasons were always good. I want to lose weight so I can be able to do this with the kids. And I want to lose weight because I want to be able to do that. But my reasons were never for myself. Yeah. And I know it's super selfish to say that, but the point of the matter is, you have to want to change for yourself before you'll actually change for others.
That is so, what's that word? That is so profound because we spend more time with ourselves than with anybody else. So if we're not changing for ourselves, then we don't have that motivation that we would if you're changing for somebody else, because that somebody else is probably going to only see you, say, 2-3 hours a day. But you're with yourself 24 hours a day. So the motivation should come for that selfish reason.
And for
right?
you.
Yes.
Well, and it's not selfish. I mean, a lot of people label it as selfish, but by me changing for myself, I'm leading by example for others.
Exactly.
I've led so many people to lose weight just by me changing for myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the reason I say to change for yourself and to make yourself the goal is because everyone in the world always does things for others, but so often you'll very rarely find someone who will do something for themselves.
Yeah. That's so true. It all comes down to self-awareness and being able to say, okay, what I'm doing today, is it helping anybody else or is it helping me even? Am I living the best life that I can today? Right?
Do you see how you said the sentence though? Your first words were, is it helping for someone else or is it helping for myself? Even you, in your own nature, not realizing it, want to help others before yourself.
Yes.
Like
so
I hate to point it out, and it's one of the things when I life coach, I have to point out numerous times to people, make yourself first. It's not selfish. Selfish is when you make yourself above others.
That's
But you're
true.
not making yourself above others if you're making yourself first. I'm not neglecting a single person in my life, but I am making myself first, which is important. And I'm teaching my child to make herself first. I'm teaching my friends and my family to make themselves first.
Yeah.
I'm hopefully inspiring other people to realize that it's okay to make yourself first. It's okay to say, I can't go to this because I'm going to go work out because I need to feel better about myself. It's okay to say, no, I really don't want that, and not feel guilty about saying no. A lot of our bad choices in life are guilt-derived.
Yes. Really, really excellent
because
points.
we want to make other people happy.
And you're on point with, we end up putting others first because for some reason that's like there's a bad connotation And I remember Steve Jobs saying, we build these programs, we build solutions and these devices for ourselves first. If it's helping somebody else, then it's even better. Hello, Hacks and Hobbies listeners. Are you looking to share your opinions, give me feedback, or tell me what you're thinking? Send me a voice message. Voice messages are an easy way for you to send me audio that might end up in future episodes of Hacks and Hobbies. They're the latest feature from Anchor, the platform I use to make this podcast. Here are some of the things I would love to hear from you. Are you enjoying the direction the podcast has taken for season 2? Is there someone I can interview that will absolutely help you gain more knowledge? What do you think of the different topics that I talk about on the podcast with my guests? You can send me a voice message right now from wherever you're listening. Just tap the link in my show notes. I can't wait to hear from you. And to have a successful software, successful product, successful anything, you've got to first make it for yourself and be fully poured into it, because then people will see that passion and be like, hey, I want that too.
Yeah, because the thing of the matter is, when you make yourself first, other people see how happy you are.
Yes.
I have never been more happy in my entire life. And it's not saying that my children or when I was married, my husband didn't make me happy. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is any health professional in the neurological area in psychology is going to tell you it is completely unhealthy to put people before you. And it's codependency when you rely on other people to make you happy.
Yes. Absolutely. You gotta.
And there's so much to battle when it comes to changing your lifestyle. Most people think, oh, she just changed her diet. She just exercised. No. I changed my thought process.
Yes.
I changed the way I approached life and decided I wanted to show people that happiness starts from within.
Yes.
It doesn't start outside. It starts from within. And to rely on any other person for happiness, yeah, you'll be successful for a little while. Mm-hmm. But in the end, like every fad diet I've ever started,
yeah,
I always quit because it wasn't for me, and I was doing it for someone else, and I lost my joy and my happiness in it. So I try to tell everybody, don't do this for anybody else but yourself, and always tell yourself every morning when you wake up, you matter.
Yeah. No, those are some really good points there. I was listening to this podcast, and the podcast is the Superhuman something, where it's a lot about super learning, and the guests were these two people who are huge on self-motivation in the morning. Like they're saying, as soon as they wake up in the morning, they have a set of mantra that they do to get rid of the negative, because we won't realize this, but as soon as you wake up in the morning, there's a lot of negativity around. So you need to rid of that by saying, or setting your mindset in a positive attitude. So really, really positive.
I don't have a mantra in the morning. I just have a mantra of life.
Yes.
I just changed my life.
Absolutely. Now there's many different ways to skin a cat, and what the model that you found, it's scientific, because you're documenting everything that you're putting into your body. You're documenting everything you're working out. So now it's all scientific, it's calculated, and you can see the results. And that's what MyFitnessPal is doing for you, which is excellent.
Yeah. Well, I started out with MyFitnessPal to just change my habit. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm going to drive while I go. I just started FitnessPal because it literally taught me everything there was about my choices.
Yeah.
And it 100% brought me face to face with my choices and what they were doing.
Yes.
You can't ignore it. There's no ignoring it, because you can keep putting it in, but every day it's going to have the same result at the end unless you make changes.
Yeah.
And that was what happened for me. The exercise showed me that change was possible. That's why I started one thing at a time. changed my diet.
Yeah.
I just hiked. And then I started with, the fitness pal and everything else.
Yeah.
I just needed to show myself I was important enough.
Yeah.
If I ever had any regrets in my life, it's that I started so late.
Mm.
And that's why it's so important to me now. My next step in life is that I would like to start showing people that family fitness is number one.
Mm-hmm.
So many people are like, you have to go to school and you have to get good grades and you have to do this. But if you're not teaching your children family fitness alongside making sure that they're disciplined in their studies and how they're eating,
yeah,
you're not doing them any favors.
That's right. Because they're only going to learn so much from school. School is just another way of babysitting and making...
School's a disciplined way of showing them that they have to go and achieve certain goals in short amount of time. Like when you go to work and you have to finish an assignment or a project.
Mm-hmm.
You have that discipline because school created that discipline for you.
Exactly.
I mean, school does have it definitely has its things, but it's not going to teach them healthy lifestyle. It's not going to teach them to put themselves first. In fact, most oftentimes school is going to teach your children to always consider those around them, which is very great.
Yeah.
And I don't, by any ways or any means, say that it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But my child's happiness has to come first.
Absolutely.
My happiness has to come first.
Yeah.
So I'm not out there like doing anything detrimental in society, or am I advocating that people's happiness come from anything detrimental to society? I'm definitely one of those people who always feels that if you're going to make a choice, whether it be for you or for anyone else, that it always be a choice that's positive.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's how you're doing what's best for you and the people around you.
That's so true. All right. So at this point, we want to ask some questions specific to hacks and hobbies.
Oh, I want to ask them?
No, I'm going to ask them to you.
Okay. I was like, I don't have any questions.
No problem. All right. So first question is, what is one hobby that you wish you got into? And you mentioned, earlier about some things, but tell us, what is one hobby that you wish you got into?
Oh, swimming.
Swimming.
I can't swim.
Mm-hmm.
And swimming is one of the best stress relievers.
Yeah.
It's the lowest impact on your joints. It's definitely great for cardio. I mean, if I could swim, if I could add swimming to my regimen and not have the fear of water that I have, I would be like on cloud nine. It would be swimming, 100%.
Very awesome. That is.
I did a lot of research about swimming, and I tried, but I can't get my face in the water without fear of drowning. So
absolutely.
It's still
I don't know how to swim either. I mean, I know how to swim. I don't know how to float. Like I can get from one side to the other in the pool, but I cannot float for the life of me. So we put our sons. You can float for days.
Don't ask me to put my face in the water.
Well, you should get one of those face masks for underwater.
I tried that.
Okay.
It's the snorkel mask, and I did go on a cruise, and I was able to snorkel on the surface of the water, but I was floating in my face, but I was bringing my face up all the time and bringing that thing out of my mouth and taking deep breaths of air, so I knew I wasn't breathing right in it. But I did try it, and it's still on my goal. Swimming is definitely not something that I'm giving up on.
Nice.
But if I was anything that I would have wanted to have started as a hobby a long time ago, it would have definitely been swimming.
Awesome. That's a really good one to take. We put both of our sons in swimming. They have weekly classes, and they're improving, at a good rate. Awesome.
My daughters are competitive swimmers, and my oldest daughter swam the Waikiki Open Rough Water Swim.
Nice.
And for a while there, she was training to swim from Oahu to Molokai.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
What you cannot do, you definitely make sure your children can, right?
Exactly. My oldest son is almost to the swim force section where he does more competitive swimming, so he's working towards that. Okay, next question.
That's really good.
Yeah. Next question. What is your favorite movie or TV show? And if none, how about a book?
Oh my goodness. That's going to be a rough one for me, Janae, because one of my life things is that I don't have a favorite and that I'm always open to new like when hiking, I've never hiked the same trail.
Mm-hmm.
People ask me all the time, what was your favorite trail? I don't have one. I haven't done the same one.
Mm-hmm.
I do different things. I think that if I had to say favorite movie genre, I could definitely say that I love anything that's a mystery suspense.
Okay.
Or even action and mystery suspense. I don't like drama. I don't like chick flicks, and I definitely am not a comedy person. Mostly because I just don't get today's humor and how crass it is. It doesn't hit me the same as it does other people. But if it's got mystery or suspense, Michael Douglas, The Game. It's an amazing mystery suspense movie from the early '90s.
That's one of my favorite movies too. That I was just totally blown away by that one. Awesome.
The ending of that movie, you think you know it the entire time, and the ending just blows your mind. You're like, what?
Yes, it does.
If you can get me to watch a movie and I can't guess the ending, which is literally impossible, I love that movie.
Yeah.
So Michael Douglas, completely love that. The Game, good movie.
Awesome. All right, next question. What is your favorite superhero?
Oh, and I'm huge into superheroes. Do I have a favorite? Oof. I don't have a favorite. I like watch them all.
You can pick a universe.
I'm Aquaman right now, but I mean, I'm definitely into Aquaman right now. But we all know why I'm into Aquaman. It's not because he's a superhero.
It's because he's
a
Hawaiian.
What was that one that just came out that I didn't even know about? It was the Black Panther, or
there was the Black Panther. There was Ant-Man and Wasp.
I mean, I've seen them all. I don't. As soon as they hit the theater, I'm there opening weekend. I'm a huge Marvel and DC fan.
Yeah.
But I don't have a favorite because I watch everything. I even watch the Hero series on TV. You name all of the Netflix series. I've got them all watched. I'm a huge, but I don't have a favorite. I mean, I definitely lean towards Wonder Woman.
Oh yes.
I mean, but it's because she's a female, and I really want there to be more female heroes instead of heroines. You know what I mean?
There's a new one coming out this Friday. Captain Marvel. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm going. I've already got tickets.
So we're gonna have to bring you back and talk more about movies because I love all of those movies. I love talking about movies. All right.
I'm a definite movie goer, that's for sure.
Yes. Next question is, if you were a board game, what would it be?
It would definitely be, I've always leaned heavily towards word games like Boggle and Scrabble, but if I was a board game, meaning my life, I don't know, is there a board game out there that has consistent changes? Like, I don't think there's a game out there that would fit or constituent towards my life because
there's just like books publishing every month, there's new board games coming out every month.
Yeah. I don't have a board game, Junaid. I used to play a lot of board games and Yahtzee as a kid. I play, what is that adult game? It's a black card one. And it's
Cards Against Humanity.
Game that I play all the time. Yep. I play Cards Against Humanity with other adults, but...
But that's not a board game, it's a card game.
It's a card game, exactly. I'm like, well, that pretty much, I guess it would have to be Scrabble.
It's Scrabble. All right, we'll keep it to Scrabble. All right, cool. That's perfectly fine. So where can my audience find you if they wanted to connect and learn more about the programs that you're doing and the coaching that you're doing, and how can people learn more and follow your journey into learning swimming and getting into the Spartan and all that good stuff?
So I go to Project Rise Fitness. I advocate for this gym if people are in the Denver metro area. I 100% advocate for the gym. There's even a section about the gym inside the article in Women's Health. I did 20 years of trying gyms and never found a gym that made me feel okay with myself. And when I walked into Project Rise, there are people all different sizes there. And the coaches there, the owners there, they used to be coaching on The Biggest Loser. And I think he competed in some kind of games or something like that. But when you walk in there, it's extremely friendly. They do community events, so we're always hanging out and doing things. I went painting with a whole bunch of people from the gym because it was a community event. Nice. I think axe throwing is in the making. So I'm oftentimes at Project Rise. you can find me in the Denver area. Junaid has my Instagram and my Facebook.
Perfect. We'll definitely include all of the links to connect with Melissa, Instagram, Facebook, and connect the link to Project Fitness Rise or ProjectRiseFitness.com.
Yeah, and if you don't have a gym, and if you're ever here in Denver, definitely stop by and we'll go, and you'll see what I mean by the gym. They definitely do it differently. It's not. I want to say it's a CrossFit gym, but it's not. It's a HIIT gym. If I had to say it definitively, but they start with people from all different shapes and sizes, and everyone who goes through their 6-week program ends up joining, and I've seen more people attain their goals in the last couple of months, and I really, really love the people and the coaches at this gym. So
that's fantastic.
I definitely hope to see some of you there.
Yeah,
I'm there 7 days a week.
Absolutely.
Sometimes twice a day.
That's fantastic. Well, Melissa, it was really nice talking to you. Thank you for sharing your story, your journey, and thank you for motivating us into making better choices and being better, healthy human beings.
Anytime, Junaid. And if anything, I hope that people take today and make themselves first.
Absolutely.
Make themselves important.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, more than the weight loss, more than my journey, just take away that I made myself important enough to finally find my happiness.
Yes.
So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again. We'll definitely be looking forward to following your journey and talk with you soon.
Yeah. Thanks, sweetheart. I had fun.
Thank you for listening to Hacks and Hobbies. You can find additional information on the guest today on their website, hacksandhobbies.com. Please feel free to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out on upcoming interviews with amazing guests.